Yeah, my name's Glenn, and I'm the owner here at Silverhand Meadery. Why did I start this business? It's kind of fun. I got into beekeeping. I was interested in these books about homesteading where you grow an orchard and you've got chickens and maybe some goats or something, but there was always a couple of beehives in that talk, and so I thought, those beehives kind of scare me. I gotta read more about that. I tend to dive into my fears, so I started getting books about beekeeping, and I was fascinated and loved it. And so that beekeeping path, you're eventually going to learn about mead at some point. And so I was getting these beekeeping catalogs, where you get the smoker and the protective gear and all that kind of stuff. And there's always a page dedicated to mead making. And I usually just glossed over it. It didn't mean anything to me. But then I was reading some historical fiction novels by an author named Stephen Lawhead, and one of his books was called The Silver Hand. And in his books, he's always got these Celtic historical guys drinking mead after a battle. And I put two and two together. I'm like, wait, that's the same thing from my catalog. I had to check this out. So I found some, loved it. It was hard to get, it was hard to find. So I thought, I'm gonna try and make this. How difficult is it? I have no idea. So let's give it a shot. So started making it, and that was years ago. And when I first served it to some friends, it was always fun to see the reaction, because it was like, this is wine from honey? So at that point, I think I had thought it right away, this could be a good business one day if I ever have the opportunity to explore it. So here we are, many years later, exploring it. Yeah, so I've got a history as a musician, and so I love bringing music into all of our meads, and so all of our meads are connected to songs. So quite a huge range, but we range from jazz, we have a mead called All Blues, named after one of Miles Davis's most famous tunes from his album called Kind of Blue. That one we make with blueberry blossom honey. So this is bees getting nectar from blueberry flowers. And then we blend that they turn that into honey, and we blend that with blueberries. So kind of all blues going on with that one. We've got another mead made with rosemary and thyme. So there's a great old song by Simon and Garfunkel called Scarborough Fair, where they sing, "Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme." I'm saying it's their song. It's been around a lot longer than when they recorded it back in the 70s, but yeah, so that's where we get that name. So every mead is tied to a song. Our most recent one is after Stevie Wonder's "Signed, Sealed, Delivered, I'm Yours." So that's made with raspberry blossom honey, cocoa, and vanilla, almost like a raspberry chocolate mead. So yeah, we're inspired by songs for all of our meads, their labels, and kind of the story of it for their ingredients too. So I'm just a small-time backyard beekeeper kind of a guy. So I've had anywhere from 1 to 6 over the last 5-6 years, and so it just kind of ranges depending on how my hives are doing, which locations I've got them in, and that sort of thing. So yeah, not enough to supply anything here yet. I would love to have more beehives, but with 3 boys, the business. I'm heavily involved in music, and so I teach and play a lot. So I don't have a ton of extra time. So it'd almost have to be a side business that I could help run, but I can't be involved in the day-to-day. So yeah, managing time is an important thing as a business owner. So we're open 12 to 6 most days, a little bit longer on the weekends, and so people will come in for tastings, and so for our tastings, you get tasting of mead. We love doing honey tastings. That's something that people have never really, they've not usually had mead either, but to taste the different varietals of honey you know, like honey that comes from the bees getting nectar from orange trees or avocado trees or alfalfa blossoms or mesquite blossoms. They all taste pretty different. So we love walking people through that and then giving them a mead tasting as well. But that's kind of the afternoons here. In the mornings, we've got often some production tasks going on, like maybe we're starting new batches, maybe we're filtering, maybe we are degassing or adding nutrients and that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on here throughout the day. Yeah, so I would say we are just entered our third year, so we're just starting our third year. Okay. So a lot of this was, what's going to happen? How does this work? And so, yeah, we're developing that still, I would think. So the goal this year, in our first 2 years, we really wanted to figure out how this works, right? So like, what's our process? What meads are people going to like? So we keep introducing new ones every few months, just as a one-off batch. And when people like them, we add them to our lineup. And so we've done that this past 2 years, and I think we've found a good direction ahead with what our meads are going to be like moving forward. So we'll always be introducing new meads, but the goal of 2018 will be to get into some more stores, restaurants. We do pretty good business here at our own facility, our tasting room, but we want to get into more stores, restaurants, and we launched our mead club in 2017, and it's been awesome. It grew quicker than I anticipated, and so that's a fun thing, because now we've got some people who are like really into mead, and we get to share with them. We call it our Insiders Club, and they get you know great deals and meads made specially for them that other people aren't going to get. So we want to see that grow, and we want to see our restaurant and store sales grow too.